Hey y'all, so here we are, the last hour of work. 2 more weeks they want me to work double. I don't like doubles, I don't know if I can pull them. I hate trying to pull them. So the boss man calls me up and he says, hey, calls me Thomas, that's my first name. I say, hey Thomas, how you doing? He butters me up first. He said, I need to see if you can pull a 216s on a weekend in 2 weeks. I said, Mr. Leonard, I said, I doubt very seriously I'll be able to pull 216s. I said, that ain't impossible, but it's just not possible for me. But I said I could probably pull one, but I am not pulling two. So anyway, probably the 18th I'll be working from 12 to 4, 12 at night to 4 p.m. That's a lot of hours. I did it one time before. The first official time that I can actually say that I worked a full 16-hour shift was about a month ago. And I didn't like it. I hated it. God, I hated it. It seemed like time would never just. And then by the time I got off, it just seemed like it was like, oh man, it just seemed like I just got on. But anyway, it just it seemed like freaking ever. It drug. But like I said, the time I got off, I'm like, didn't I just get on? But anyway, that's just the way it goes. So I'm just sitting here enjoying my earmuffs. My old Pro here earmuffs. I saw some charged it anyway. I saw some Mr. Big. Mr. Big earmuffs were these. I guess they were sold 20 some odd years ago, or however long, I'm not sure. Probably a little longer than that. I think they still sell them out of Monroe, New York. And so you can imagine that those earmuffs well, not so much the earmuffs, but they're like a factory, and they have shearling, with sheepskin and stuff like that. They have linen in them. That is to say, the actual fat that they help shear bed sores and stuff get cleared up pretty good. But anyway, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I have a pair of these old ones, and kind of wondering if they still got any fat in them, or the land being that they died. And it seems like it's from two different animals. This one right here is a little bit more coarse. This one right here is a little bit more softer. So this is a young sheep. This one seems like to be an older sheep. It's kind of coarse, but more grainy feeling. So I can't remember when I bought these. I bought these a couple of years ago or something. And these are very similar to the ones that I found as a little boy in my step aunt's. Where's the name of it? She had like a what do you call that? A thrift store, and this is Jane something. I'm not sure. She had like a thrift store, and she told, "Hi, what's water resistant? You mean the sheepskin?" Well, thinking with the some of these sheepskins, you wouldn't think about it and them being water resistant. It's, like I got like a in my truck, I got like a wash mitt. It's sheepskin, but you know you can wet it, you can wash with it and stuff. And I've seen some complaints on it where they have fallen apart and everything. And the sheepskin kind of came out of the off the hide, off the pelt itself, which is on the mitt. And I'm like, wow, I'm glad I didn't get none of those. But of course, I got a set. I got a pair. I got a mitt, wash mitt. I had 2 or 3 of them and everything, but I kind of cut them up and used them to try to make my other earmuffs a little better because I wanted to see if they had the lanolin in them. And I couldn't get a straight answer because I don't know if they washed the lanolin out or what have you, you know. But these right here, to be as old as they are in really good shape. Like I said, this side is really soft. This side's a little bit coarse. And I was just kind of curious where they came from. Hello, Angelica. Philippines team. I love rubbing these things. But anyway, I was on the eBay and I just used my charge card because I was kind of curious to get them. And it's called Mr. Bic. And what it is it's like a thing where you can put your headphones in, your Walkman headphones inside. So I'm assuming that's from the 80s, and they are still in the back. And they said that they were lanolin rich. So hopefully that they are still that way whenever they come in. And I got a set of earmuffs very similar to these. I don't know if they have a metal headband, but I'll see when they get here. And it's kind of like a little time capsule. They're still in the bags and stuff, so I'm gonna hate to really take them out. But oh well, you know. It is what it is. You can tell they're different than these 2 right here. See? You can tell that's coarse. This is soft. So let's see what this looks like on the inside. I think I took these off one time before. Let's see what the interior looks like. That's the skin. It's pretty thick. And that's what I was trying to get. I was trying to find somebody who could take and sew an elastic band on these, the ones I got from the auto parts place. That would be pretty neat. That way I can kind of make them a little bit bigger than this, you know. And kind of put them on my headsets and stuff. And this right here, as you can see, it's kind of got like a stitch around it. Not really. I'm not a crocheter. My mom can. My mom and my sister can crochet, but not me. Not one of my guy traits. There we go. This is metal. And this is a little insert thing. Okay. all metal. Oh, it says Japan. These were made in Japan. But of course, made in Japan. Japanese earmuffs. A little bit of loose corrosion right there. Yeah. There might be some old glue or old fat. That's what that looks like. Feels good on the ears. If they can, some of them are just whenever you put them on, they kind of kick off, and then they go like this around your ear. Nobody like that. Nobody likes that. Okay, so I'm gonna put these back together. Fold it. This, I'm going to fold it back on like that. Seems to work better that way. Yeah, it is newish. A bit of fuzz. How do I make what? Yeah, I like planes. Now, if you're talking about how do I make the headphone earmuffs like these, all I do is just take earmuffs, the ones you can find on Amazon or whatever, and I take them earmuff things off the frame, and I kind of fold it inside out, and I make like a little, what I do is I take and I make like a little cut, like a little C cut, what I call a C cut, and then I put a hole on each side, and then I'll pull this out. On this one right here, I can't really, usually on the other ones I could snap them off, but this one I can't do it. So I had to pull out these little slide things, and then I would kind of slide them in, slide the holes, slide the earmuff thing, furry thing over the two slides, and the hole kind of lines up with the center, and they're really comfortable, really comfortable. I can lay in bed and wear these things all night long. And sometimes my ear get a little funny. It's like, we're not enjoying this because we're in the ear hole a different way, so we need to be really readjusted. So that's pretty much what I got to do. I just got to take them off for a bit, because sometimes it'll take the top of my ear and kind of squeeze it a little bit, and that gets uncomfortable. It just depends on how they're in there. That's why whenever I make the little C-like cut, I have to make sure that it's wide enough so the back of my ear fits in there. So it's really the back of your ear that needs to fit in that hole, not the front where the ear canal is. Because if you got the back of your ear in there, everything's good. It just depends on how you need to really make sure that it's not really going to eat your ear up. The plastic ain't going to eat your ear up, you know what I mean? It's just the inside of the ear cup. Make sure it doesn't have like jagged edges or something like that. What I would like to do is kind of put like an interior type of thing in there, but the more stuff you put inside of it, the thicker it gets. And so the thing with these right here, they have like a speaker that's not that big. The driver is not really big, so that really helps too. But the bigger your driver is, the more space it takes up, and the more space it takes up, the more ear room it takes up. The more ear room it takes up, the more ouchies you're gonna have. Nah, I'm not into gaming. That's not my thing. That's not my peanut butter. I've done enough gaming when I was younger. Of course, probably wouldn't what you'd be into. You know, Mario Brothers, PlayStation 2 and 3, something like that. Well, more like Nintendo when I was younger, Super Nintendo. And then it was kind of like PlayStation 2 and 3 or something like that when my son was just a little fella even before he was born. Then I kind of got out of it and he got into it. And he became way better than me. I wasn't even all that great to begin with. But yeah, kind of curious now what the other side looks like. Let's see what the other side looks like. This is a softer side of the earmuffs. But we know for a fact that these are made in Japan. Okay. Have fun with that. I can actually use these for the insert in these things. That's what I could do. That's probably where the glue would go. This is a little soft too. Ain't no telling how old these things are. But I know they're soft. I wish I knew for a fact that the lanolin was still in these things. If the lanolin was still in them, I would probably take them and put them on the inside of these. Because I want my ears to, because my ears get a little dry sometimes and flaky and itchy. So I want the lanolin to kind of help me out with making sure my ears are good to go, you know. Yeah, it's been a while back. It's been a while since I made any abandoned videos. Been in places. Can't really find a whole lot around here. I just ain't looking, and I don't want to drive forever just to go find a place, you know. It seems sometimes that's what you got to do. You got to drive forever just to find a place. It's not very smart economy when it comes to my gas. In other words, the economics isn't really good on that when it comes to my gas. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I mean. It's not economical. Yeah. Get us now. It's probably the first time where I think I took them apart one time before. It's probably the first time, if I haven't taken them apart, that they've ever been taken apart since they've been put together. And like I said, there ain't no telling how old these things is. Like what I said earlier, I was a little fella back in the 80s, early 80s. And I went to my aunt's thrift store and I found a pair like these, the headband and all that stuff. And they had a particular smell like these right here. They kind of smell old, but they were the shearling and sheep. The fur on them was kind of it was kind of like this, but it was a little bit more matted, as if they were wore a lot. And I don't know, for some reason or another, I took a liking to them, and that's kind of what, in a way, I guess, what started all this. Because I did like a little Sora thing when I did it on Sora. I just got to stitch it all together and kind of make it to a video of how I kind of got into my to my little philia for earmuffs, ear protectors, or whatever you call it. It's pretty interesting. But I think it really pretty much started because I had a very similar jacket with sheepskin, sheepskin fur collar, kind of like this. And I think that was like an Oshkosh jacket or something. And the big buttons and stuff. I remember my grandma and granddad used to put the button up in that shirt, coat, jacket, whatever. It was so warm and toasty, and every time the fur brushed up against my ears, it felt good, and also it tickled. And I just loved the way it felt. But I was so young, I don't know how I remember that. Probably about 6, 7 years old. So that must have been in 78, 79. A long time ago. Like the above cave, like the above the cave. I'm not sure what you mean. I ain't went no cave. Well, the only one I did go to was called the Lost Sea, and it was years since I've been there. It's been a long time since I've been there. Man, I love these things. I was going to give them away, but I kind of changed my mind because I just like the feel of them, man. They just feel so nice. I gave several of them away. There was like this police lady. I've given other pairs away too. And her name is Tactical Tinkerbell. She's a cop out of Arkansas, and she wears like a tactical armor, police stuff, and then with Tinkerbell wings. And I sent her a couple, some old ones, some oversized blue ones, some rabbit fur blue ones, and some more modern ones. And she went on a trip in New York, and she started wearing them and everything. She was wearing them, so shows me that she really liked them. They got to go, sadly. Oh, well, thanks. Appreciate it. I enjoy people who enjoy me. I enjoy people who enjoy me enjoying crazy things the way I do. A little bit musty. But they're not so bad. It's funny as they are. I have other ones that I could just pull out and compare to these, and you'll see the difference. That's what I ought to do. I ought to do that one day, especially whenever my boss asked me something about working on about 2 weeks from now on a Sunday to 16-hour shift. I'm like, man, shoot, I don't want to do that. That's crazy. But that's what I'll do when I ain't got nothing else to do, is just kind of just, go through my earmuffs and stuff. Bring the whole box. Something like that. But first of all, I kind of eased into all this stuff, because before I was just kind of really being really bashful about it. I didn't really know if I wanted to do all that because I didn't know what people would think or say, because I just wanted to kind of be a me thing, and I didn't want no. I didn't care really so much that people judge me, because it was always going to be part of who I am, I guess, and it just not unless the Lord does something about it. But I don't know. I kind of really didn't like doing all that. But here, from a couple of years ago, I just like the hell with it. Just going to do it. So that's why I have these streams on it and these videos and stuff. Especially when it comes to hearing protectors and everything, how to make them from just your regular hearing protectors into something that's going to keep your ears warm and stuff like that, and also entertain at the same time. So that's why you might see me do it a lot with these Pelter type of hearing protectors, 3M and Pelter hearing protectors. So that's my thing. I'm wearing not self-harming, I'm just cleaning my fingernail out. But yeah, I really enjoy earmuff, hearing protectors, whatever you want to call them. I really enjoy them. I really like them a lot. And some of them they look kind of ridiculous. But what I got, I think I like them. The headphone type of things that you can have where you can listen to things and stuff like that, and have hearing protection, and at the same time keep your ears warm when it's cold. So you got 3-in-1, you got acoustic, you got audio, and you got thermal, all 3-in-1. I can't turn up my mic. I have no mic to turn up. Probably because I'm a little far away. Bluetooth turned up. I'm okay. Are you okay? Why you ask me if I'm okay? Because I got big old black earmuffs over my ears? Is that why you ask me that? Why wouldn't it be okay? That's the question. Justin. Oops. I'm hunky-dory. Just because you're asking me that because I got a knife in my hand, cleaning out my fingernails. I am totally fine. I am getting kind of hungry though. I don't know why. I shouldn't be hungry. First of all, you get home, eat a bowl of cereal, let my dog out, go to bed for a couple hours, do my routine, which it really is just all muscle memory right now. That's all it is. I should ask my son if he wants me to come pick him up. But I don't feel like going all the way to Cleveland just to pick him up. 10, 15, 20-minute trip, then come all the way back to Etowah. He told me somebody can get a ride. I was like, okay, well, just leave it at that. I'm going to go to some of these thrift shops and look for some more of these, like these Goodwill shops. Back when I was younger, they called them thrift shops, thrift marts and stuff like that. They still do. and but now it's mostly Goodwill or some kind of mom and pop type of store. Odds and ends, and little small things, whatnots, and what have you. Let's see, wool fibers. The lanolin might not be in those anymore because they're dyed. Hi. I need to print off my thing, y'all. So you're making me forget. Finish up some of my work. And I pray I don't get a truck at the last minute. Jeez, it's gonna suck. Here it is, 11:20, 40 minutes to 12 o'clock. Put my glasses on. Oh, these feel so good. I got a piece of tape there so the blue light won't blind me, because whenever I put these on charge and I got them cut on, whenever I have them on, especially on in bed, the whole side of my bed lights up blue. I'm like, well, I can't sleep with that. Let's see here. What they gonna do? Leave here for all that information. I didn't have a truck today. I didn't have a truck yesterday. I better shut up because I might get one before I get off my shift. I bet you they'll come like two of them back to back. Boom, boom. That will suck. That'll suck lemons. Bet you can't do that. How's that? How about the best man ever? Maybe skip for you. Oh yeah, you too. It's just another year. 365 days marks 1 year. That's all it does. I don't get into that happy New Year stuff. I'm not a Scrooge, but I just like, meh. Same thing for Christmas. I'm not just not listening to it. You get my age, it doesn't really matter anymore. Right here, though, I bet you if I put them over my ears, they'll kick off. That would be like this, because what it is how, if I recall, I might have bought these off eBay. I might have, but anyway, they came in like a they were called something of a ski earmuffs or sheepskin earmuffs or whatever, and they come in a little plastic bag, And I remember going to a B-Mart when I was younger. That's where I bought a good bit of the earmuffs from. But they weren't like these. They were plastic, and they weren't sheepskin. They were acrylic. They were 3M sensitive, and 3M still sells them, and they were a replacement for those. It's very rare now that you see shearling or sheepskin earmuffs out there. But they're all, probably say they're real, but they're not. So if you can find anything out there that's shearling or sheepskin from the hide of the animal, that's pretty cool. Some people say, well, you should kill those sheep. Well, that's what they're for. God made animals for certain reasons. Took off my pajama bottoms under my pants because I thought it was going to be a little chillier tonight. It was, but it wasn't as bad as I thought, especially when I got halfway around that building. And now it's like I got on the other side of that building where it wasn't a whole bunch of light. It got colder. So when I came back around, it kind of like was, not so bad. Or either I walked enough where my body got heated up where my hands got warm. Except for my gloves. To print my name. Not put the date until I get down to the bottom. Today is the 4th, 2026. Whew, mercy. Get warm in here. Earmuffs make me want to play with it. Golly. I just sit there and I saw like a little dent in it. And I'm like, okay, I got to get that out. Right there in the little fur part. And I'm like, okay, I got to get that out. And that was on the soft side too. And I like go there, like, playing with the fur, the sheepskin, shearling, whatever you want to call it. It's trash. What's that? I see a box with a kitten and some kind of yellow dude doing the whatever that is. What do you call that thing where you do the yellow thing? What is he doing? I have no idea. I just don't know. You're in this thing 40 minutes. They had this bicycle thing out for like the longest time. I think they got I don't know if that's a new one or what. So we can take that and go around the building with it. But there's like these doors are so close together, you got to stop and go and stop and go. I'm like, no. Not only no, but hell no. It's like that building goes from all the way over here to all the way over there. And you can see where that door is on the end there. I'm glad equipped with this camera because they can see me on here and everything. Yep, let it stop. But anyway, stand right here that way. Can't see me on the camera. All the way from there and all the way over there. A few tenths of a mile. I don't know how many, 3 or 4 tenths of a mile. And you got the, it's just about 1/3 as wide that way. And the whole backside and the other side, full of doors. Doors every freaking where. That sucker is big. I think it's a little bit, I don't know if it's, it might be bigger than Amazon, I'm not sure. Or it might be the same size as Amazon, which is across the street. I worked over there across the street a couple months ago. And I did a stupid thing, I have to admit, by telling them to kiss it. I shouldn't have done that. But I couldn't stay there any longer. I got tired of the crap. Well, I don't have any done. I know you consider this one still a new job. It's I've had it for a couple of months. I'm trying to get me something else to go along with it, like a part-time job. But I'd rather this be a full-time job than have another part-time job. That way I can, that way I have better taxes and stuff. Because I can't claim my son no more. He's too old now. Not unless he goes to college and lives at home. Which he can't decide what he wants to do. I don't have a plane. Where do you get this idea that I got a plane? I don't have a plane. I don't have the plane, boss. I don't have the plane. telling you, truck better not come up. If it does, I'm putting the phone right there in the window. That way you can see what I got to deal with. These do. Let the other guy come up. As soon as he gets here, I'm gonna clock out. Say, hey, enjoy it. Your shift. He don't bother me, he's a good old fellow. Some people get a little pissed off at him because he's like, he wants to take a vacation or whatever. And he's done been weeks and weeks, and the boss man called me out, hey, we're doing 16. I'm like, I don't know about we're going to have 16, Miss Lynn. Got 2 in a row at least. But then again, like I said, you too, have a great day. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what the plane is, or the message you're referring to. I'm sorry. Right over my head, my man, right over my head. Let's see here, play with my earbuds. My Japanese earmuffs. I had to say, I've seen some earmuffs in Japanese make it. They're pretty good. They're really nice. I've seen some of them. I've been making a few Sora videos, AI Sora videos, you know, where I got this character called Hannah, and she's a Scottish girl, and she's having a baby, and she was like really into earmuffs like her mom, and shearling earmuffs because her mom raises like lambs and stuff, and they become bigger sheep and everything, you know. She raises them, and then of course, you know, when they get older, they gotta, you know, what have you. But they were, you know, they got a folk art down, you know. Scotland has a lot of pretty cool folk art, you know. So some of them, I don't know if it has anything too much to do with making a lot of earmuffs. I know they have made custom or in their, you know, heirlooms of earmuffs and pass them down, but I don't know if they do what, you know, with the Celtic headband and the loose shearling earmuffs. I don't know if they do all that, but I'm thinking what I should do from now on is make the earmuffs on that a regular color, because if you're making blue, if you're making green, then it seems like the dye kind of gets rid of the lanolin. And so I've seen something on eBay that says they look exactly what I imagined they would, but the earmuffs on there are like $100 some odd. I'm like, I don't know if I can buy that, but it would kind of match up with what I'm trying to look for. It doesn't have an ear hollow where your ear could go inside the ear cup. That's the only thing. And as far as them being, they're a natural color of wool. And of course the headband is a leather headband, and they don't have the Celtic knot to them. But that's the closest thing to what I've imagined on my character. And I made her on DeviantArt, and I also put it on YouTube and stuff. So what I'm gonna try, I think, is just go with a natural color, because on the Sora thing, they wear sometimes they'll wear the sheepskin fur jackets and stuff, leather jackets, and there's some natural colors, some natural wool color. So what I might do is just go for the plain color, take out the blue and green and just add plain color, which is more believable and more beneficial if it were true, if it were real, because the lanolin I feel something vibrate. The lanolin and everything helps protect your ears and stuff from cuts and stuff like that. Bye. And earaches and abrasions and stuff like that, like dermatitis type stuff. That's what I kind of got mine. Sometimes my ears get a little sore and they get flaky from wearing these too much, or whenever it's hot or whatever. But most of the time, these furry ones right here, what they are is they're Brooklyn Bay earmuffs. So you can find a Brooklyn Bay earmuffs on Amazon. And they're not that bad. They're polyester and everything. They're not that bad. But some of them, they're more acrylic ones. Mercy. These ain't that bad at all. It just depends too. If it's hot during the day, whatever. So let me try these. Got one here. I've had these on for a couple hours now. I'll show you what the ear holes look like. See how they sink in there? That's what I want them to do. Make little ear holes. My client showing it up, but the whole principle is sinking in. That's where my ear goes. Right in that little hole right there. And this part right here is where I can pull that flap out and just make the whole thing cover up the ear hole like that. See? Or I can tuck it back in like that. And this part right here kind of hits my ear canal and just feels real soothing. And the back part of my ear right here goes on this part, back here. And because usually if you put the whole earmuff on there, and then you have a lot of resistance and everything, it kind of puts pressure on it. So that's why I did that. I kind of make them like a, that's why I said I make it like into like a C cut. Cut them out like a C. And I didn't cut the whole flap off. I didn't remove it. I left it on there. That way I can fold it back in. And then just tuck it like that. And same thing for those. This one right here goes on my left ear. This one right here goes on my right ear. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So with these, see how they kick off a little bit? That's why you gotta make sure, gotta pull them out a little bit. And that's what my other ones did. My first ones I ever got like this, they did all that. I remember that. So I had to kind of push the headband just in a little bit, and then unfold them on my ears. I'm about to say, you better not be coming here. See? That's what that looks like. Ain't so bad. I had to really test these things out because I don't know if they will protect against the cold like those will, because I got a little bit of overhang here. I don't know, they might work. Got a little bit of peace I can feel right there. But for the most part, oh, maybe the back of my ear here. It's a little bit exposed, but there's enough of the fur kind of going over it to kind of maybe hold some of the heat in. So I don't know. I have to try them one day. I have to bring them out here with me again whenever it gets colder. and try them out, see if they really work. But other than that, I'm gonna get off here, and we'll see y'all later. And I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.